Hey Magic family, welcome back on Magic Raven Tarot channel. For those of you who are new here on this channel, you are welcome here. For those of you who return, thank you so much for all the feedback that you guys are leaving in the comment section or by liking a certain topic or video. I really enjoy this process of discovering and learning together with you a lot, and I'm really grateful that I am able to share all of this with you all and help each other in the process. Some of you might be going through some sort of healing or starting a new way of living or going through a spiritual awakening. So I hope that my messages towards you will really bring enlightenment and guidance. So I'm very, very happy that I am able to do that. So for the rest of the time that we have it here on the earth. So for today reading, I prepared as usually 3 piles, pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. And we're going to find out today what regrets have this person that you have in your mind. And it could be anyone that you are thinking of. If you think of more people on the same time, you are free to pick up more piles. And I'm really curious, so let's see. We're gonna pick up one oracle card for each deck in part. Each pile, actually. Let's see for pile number 2. The person that pile number 2 is thinking of, what regrets they have. All right. And for pile number 3. Okay. So now that we have the oracle cards, we will go to the process of shuffling and choosing the cards for each pile in part. All right, so now that I prepared the cards, on my left side we have the oracle cards, and on my right side the tarot decks, and we're gonna pick up one oracle card from each oracle deck. Let's see for pile number 1, the person that you are thinking of and the person that you have in your mind, what regrets they have. All right, for pile number 2, and for pile number 3. For pile number 1, their person from their mind, what regrets they have. Pile number 2. And for pile number 3. And now we will just pick up 2 tarot cards from each deck in part. For pile number 1, what regrets has their person from their mind. And I'm really curious. Pile number 2. I would like to know. All right. Just put it here. One more card. And for pile number 3, 1, and you can, at the end of the shuffling, you can really meditate. If there are more people who come into your mind, you can choose one pile for each person in part. Sometimes we are thinking on a person and then somebody else is coming through, which has stronger energy. All right. Let's see for pile number 2. One. Right. I just saw this flower jumping. Pile number 1. And I would like one more card for pile number 1. Okay, I think it's this one. All right. Let's see for pile number 2. The person that they have in their mind, what regrets they have. 1. And 2. Sorry for the background noise. I just moved this weekend and I have more activity outside than usually. For pile number 1, the person that they have in their mind and they are thinking of, what regrets they have. 1 and 2. For pile number 2, what regrets? Oh, too many. We take this. Just one card I need. I feel like for pile number 2 are many regrets. For pile number 3, 1 and the second one. All right, so now we have the cards, the oracle and the tarot cards. At the end of the reading for each pile, I prepared an additional oracle deck which contains messages, unspoken, deep secrets from the person that you have in your mind. It could be related directly to you or to some sort of regrets that they have towards other people. So just take the message as it resonates with you and trust your intuition. Follow your inner guidance and pick the pile that you feel that drowned mostly. And if you feel like you are thinking on more people, you are free to pick up more piles. So for pile number 1, we have the red Jasper. Right. For pile number 2, we have the obsidian. And for pile number 3, we have the white quartz crystal. So take your time, press pause, I am here, and let's go directly to the reading. Hey, pile number 1, those of you who choose the red Jasper crystal, it looks like this. Let's see the cards and let's see what regrets has this person, anyone that you think of. If you think of more people, you are free to choose more piles. So for pile number 1, we have renewed, the light aspect, and the shadow aspect, it's wary. Then we have day and night. Interesting. It's like your person, the one that you are thinking of, one of their regrets is that they acknowledge that life is changing, just like the day and night, but in the same time, they didn't allow themselves to change. We have dreams. So some of you might have not, your person that you are thinking of might have not followed their own dreams or pay attention to their dreams. We have the 5 of Wands energy. And this looks more like a chess game, like someone was playing. Put them like this. Okay. Then we do have the Death card. We have the Sky King. Oh, he looks grumpy and very serious. I'm kind of seeing here that they kind of played a long game, day and night, but with this transformation, they didn't allow this transformation and they remained so sober and serious. We have the Demon Cat also. I'm sorry for the background noise. My neighbors, probably they are listening music right now. I see here with the Demon Cat some toxic habits, some negative patterns of thinking, or probably behavior. And it could mean also some addictions for some of you. We have the Ace of Swords energy. And I'm getting here also fire signs, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. We have also air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. We have, what else? Let's see. The Three of Swords, a lot of air signs here, definitely. And I feel here like they were in such a rush and broke the heart of the others, or their heart were broken here, but very fast it happened, just like with this Ace of Swords. And it could be that they used their rational mind here more than what they were truly feeling. It could be harsh words here. We have also the Four of Water, which is the Four of Cups. And I'm getting here also water signs. Some of you might be, or the person that you are thinking of could be Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. And we have the Messenger of Air also, which is the Page of Swords. All right. Let me just tap a little bit into the energy. Interesting. Your person for pile number 1. First of all, you guys choose the crystal red Jasper. And I already see that your person, this person that you have in your mind, they regret that they did not heal and balance themselves, offering protection and perhaps empathize with the others in their relationships as well. It doesn't matter if it was a love relationship or if it was a work relationship or interpersonal relationships, friendship, or a relationship like a boss employee. Therefore, they actually couldn't offer that to themselves and the others, to balance and to protect and to empathize with the situation of the others. And one of their regrets is that they did not took time to rest when was needed with the renewed light aspect here. Not doing that on a proper time, they weren't able to continue on their journey. So their passion for the future couldn't be renewed. And even if they were told to start over, they felt a part of themselves remained behind. It's not that they did not forget the past, but they actually couldn't move on either. And many times they relooked at the past and they felt like they cannot move on from their past. So probably in many situations they were projecting a lot in their relationships, and they might have react based on triggers on their past, because for them was like reliving again those moments from their past. And with the day and night card here, they regret that they were too afraid and worried when they had to make an important decision. They also regret not following their instincts, their inner voice. We see this girl here from this card. She holds the sun in her hands and she has the moon on the background. And she looks uncertain, like she's searching for an answer. She has a question and she's waiting for an answer. But she's so uncertain and afraid that she's scared even of the answers. So they regret they struggled in taking a certain decision and they did not trust their own judgment. So they did not knew that they are actually able to handle any situation. And with the Dreams Oracle card, I see that even thought their dreams holded a lot of significant insights and clues about what was challenging them emotionally, and also solutions of how to create more. I feel that even if they had those dreams, it could be also dreams involved loved past ones. They did not pay attention at those messages that could have actually eased their challenging situations. And with the Five of Wands, we see this woman here playing chessboard with other figures. And those figures, they look like they really are strong opinionated, and they kind of use different strategies here, trying to win. So I kind of see it here that there was a debate with the Ace of Swords card under, there was a competition, but they regret that conflict. And they even regret the struggle that came along within that conflict and the debate in that competition. And it feels more like it was a chess game, it was a game. And it could be that they actually used in that debate, it could be a conversation also, or a team meeting where the others were saying their opinions, or perhaps it could have been a fight between two people. It could be you or others, but I see more people here involved in this situation, and they strongly regret the fact that they rushed into this situation, that they use all the strategies to win the game, and for them probably it was just a game, and they fully regret that right now, because they realize that not only themselves they struggled because of that, but also the others, like collateral victims, I could say here. And that brings actually an ending, if I could say here, with the death card. But we see this woman here, she looks like a skeleton, partially. She's like half death, because if we look inside of her, she's full of life with all of those blooming flowers. And the body, it's a vessel for those flowers. And the white lilies here that we see it, and usually the lily, it's a symbol for death flower, but here growing out from her skeleton, that symbolize purity, innocence, and hope. And the butterfly from this picture symbolize resurrection and life. It's about transformation here. And they actually regret that they did not went through that transformation, where they could have started a powerful new beginning, maybe with the people that they actually enjoy it to spend time with, or in a relationship, or in a certain environment. Some of them might regret also a loved one who left. Probably a relationship ended, but it could be also a situation where somebody actually passed away. For some of you, it doesn't have to resonate with all of you, but it could be that. And because I'm strongly feeling also a regret concerning the incapacity to adapt to the situation and to actually go through the healing process in a much more healthier way, with the demon energy here, which is kind of toxic. So it could be that their coping mechanism to grieve that loss was actually very toxic. And it could be something that happened in their childhood, or something that happened in a near future. But something ended here. They lost something, and this was not very healthy for them. So now they regret that they didn't went through that transformation, that they didn't change actually. And I see also here with the Sky King that it's possible that actually they were involved in a situation full of violence and cruelty in the past, and they regret actually that they did not fight it to have the other people respect. It could be that they lacked at that time experience and intelligence, so they couldn't see actually clearly and perhaps advise others also without being emotionally involved. So they wish they would have been more analytical with the Sky King here. They wish that they wouldn't involve their heart so much and see the complex situation in a more rational way. And I'm kind of seeing here that the transformation, they are looking that they should have transformed and used those qualities, use their wisdom and intelligence in a more rational way. And I see here also with the demon cat that it could be one of their regrets is that they played in past the cat and the mouse game. It could be a situation where they played along and probably, and I'm kind of getting this vibe here with the 5 of Wands and the demon cat. I feel strongly here also to add that it doesn't have to be necessary a playing game between mouse and cat in a relationship. It could be a situation where they actually manipulated to enhance their toxic behavior or habits, or manipulate in that way to cover somehow their toxic habits for a long time. And now they kind of acknowledge that, they go through this transformation where they acknowledge that. And I also see that probably they created at that moment pain in the other people. And they might have felt even pleasure at that time, but it could be, as I said, a toxic pleasure. For some of you, I'm kind of strongly feel here a situation of narcissistic abuse, but it could be also a pleasure in keeping their toxicity, like addictions, and feeling pleasure from that, even thought that behavior will have created pain in the others. So it could be done something consciously or consciously, but going from a place where they didn't really care how much they hurt the others, they just cared about getting their own needs met. And if it's an addiction, and it could be anything, it's not necessarily about, I don't know, like alcohol or drugs or games. It could be also staying too much on the internet and playing games, or letting themselves fall in this pit of social media negative news, or any type of thing, eating too much, for example, anything that actually will have deteriorated their health. And I also noticed here that it could be also a neglectful situation for themselves or for the others, or even an abusive one, as I said. And they know now they felt separated from their true nature, actually. And some of them might have toxic habits, which affected their life considerably. And they kind of they regret that they remained for so long in this toxic, in this darkness, I will say. And they were kind of very straight to the point with the Sky King energy here, where they weren't emotionally anymore, especially when it comes about empathizing with the other people's needs and feelings. I also see here with the Ace of Swords that this person that you are thinking of for pile number 1, they wished that they have had a new beginning with new ideas and new clarity, where all is good. And they know because of that they've probably lost a good opportunity, or good people around them, and they let the moments pass by them without taking advantage of it for their own health and the others. And they had at that time their mind kind of closed, like very fixed idea, very conservative. It could be going necessary, they want to win this, and it didn't matter if they were right or not. For them, they were right all the time, and they kind of acknowledge that right now. And actually they regret they weren't more open with the Ace of Swords here, more open to other ideas, other projects, desires, passions. And probably someone, or perhaps many other people, suggested them something, and they did not change their attitude or took in consideration at that time. And this actually could have helped them somehow to see the truth in a faster way and less painful than it was then and it is now, because now they acknowledge all of this. I also see here that something ended. It could be a relationship, or they lost someone. And for some of you, it might be that they actually they have been left by somebody, or they left someone, but this created a lot of pain for both parts, that's for sure. A lot of fights I see here, and I can see the birds flying here and here also, and they kind of bring messages and news and words and it was so strong, and this stormy in the rain, it created so much pain and tears. And there is definitely a heartbreak here, a separation, a loss. Some of them might regret a breakup situation or even a divorce, or losing someone, as I said earlier. And they received probably bad news, and they regret the way they hurted others also. And it could be also that they genuinely regret the loss of the other person. It could signify also a betrayal of some sort, but they feel like they could have learned so much from that situation, actually. And this made them keep their heart closed. They do regret they did not use better communication or a way to repair the situation, that they did not open their heart. It's a situation where actually something ends and something new begin, and it's like no looking anymore back, and that actually created more pain. And now it kind of lashed back all of this. So if they created pain on the others, it came back to them, the consequences. And I'm kind of seeing here that I'm getting a strong vibe of the Judgment card actually here, but they do know they could have acted and perhaps prevent a crisis if they will have used better way of communicating and trying to repair a situation. They probably ran away even. And I also see here with the Four of Water that some of them they strongly regret also staying too much in the fantasy land. They kind of feel insecure when it comes about what universe offered them. It seems that they were fighting so much against disappointment and sadness that they actually remained blocked there instead of transmuting those energies. And at that time, they did not have faith in perfect timing and divine order. And I see also that they regret they reacted. I see it here, the Messenger of Swords looking towards that. They kind of acknowledge all of this heartbreak and the fact that they were apathic and staying isolated, and they didn't see the gifts that the universe were offering, or perhaps the help that the others was offered. And it's interesting because I see the Death card here looking down this behavior. So they actually regret that they did not transform those energy and transmute it. And we see the energy above, like even the Sky King from this picture, he kind of looks sober and very serious. And I see here also that they actually regret that they reacted on a situation from their past. Kind of getting here the vibe of reacting by triggers, and they did not allow themselves to think different. They kind of used the old way that they knew, and they couldn't adapt at that time to a new way of thinking and behaving. So for pile number one, your person, the one that you are thinking of, their biggest regret, it could be, and I'm looking at the shadow aspect of the renewed oracle card, it's that it's wary, and they regret very much that they didn't pay attention to details, and they entered in a phase where nothing was exciting anymore for them. It's like I'm kind of getting a strong depression here. And I sense that they actually feel that this depression didn't, this apathy did not found the seeds in themselves just like that. It happened gradually because they acted in some sort of way, and now it backlash to them. So they also regret that they actually pushed other people into depression or anxiety, or that they created situation where the others didn't felt any more joyful to be around them or excited to be around them. And they knew that this created a very negative energy with which they have to deal in the end, and they have to do shadow work here and inner work. So they started to awaken somehow, and they start to acknowledge some of the things, but they have a lot of work to do here. And that was my reading for pile number 1. I hope that you got your answers. And if you liked, please leave a comment in the comment section under the description. And I'm curious to see the feedback. So see you at the next reading. Bye. Hey, pile number 2, you choose this beautiful amethyst. It looks like this. Let's see the cards. And let's see what regret have this person that you are thinking of, the person that you have in your mind. So for pile number 2, we have blessed, the light aspect. We have morning dew girl. We do have inner child. And I'm kind of feeling it here that they might have some regrets concerning childhood or children, or perhaps their inner child as well. Some of you might be in situation where this person has to deal with some childhood, past ones, or other children's, and they probably couldn't connect so much with them. We have also the 3 of Pentacles. I strongly sense here water signs. It could be Pisces, Cancer, a Scorpio, and we have also earth signs as well. It could be you or the other person or people involved, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. And I'm seeing here also a child building something. So they might have regret not building something with a child. And we have also the Knight of Swords energy. So I feel here air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius also. We have the 8 of Sky, which is the 8 of Swords. Some sort of trapped. So fast it happened. We also have the 2 of Earth energy. We have the Ace of Cups. The 6 of Swords, which is like under the Knight of Swords. So it feels like someone here acted so fast and ran away here. And they actually regret. We also have the Sun card. And we have the 8 of Water, which is the 8 of Cups. So 8 of Swords, 8 of Cups. Interesting. So pile number 2, you choose this crystal, the amethyst. And I feel that the person that you are thinking of, they regret they did not found their inner peace and tap into their own intuition in the past. And one of their regrets is that because they did not use their ability to search for the good in any situation, they arrived to think they are unlucky and less fortunate. If an outcome was not positive, they felt defeated immediately, and they also let others deter them from their own beliefs. They know now that they are what they believe, so if they believe they are unlucky and less fortunate, this is what they received. I'm kind of sense it here that they started to acknowledge this law of attraction as well. And with the morning dew girl, they regret they did not face their fears and be more aware and conscious about what they were receiving and absorb from the others. It seems they were many times in situation where they received a lot of energies from other people. Sometimes it could be a positive energy, but many oftentimes it can be a negative one. And while doing that, they did not knew what to do with that energy. They became like a sponge, and in the same time, they did not choose to share their own feelings and worries. So instead of collecting this energy, like we see here with this morning dew girl, that she's collecting those drops of water in the morning, instead of dealing with it, they hid them deep inside. And they wished they could have stand resolute and strong and face their own fears. And this fear was so powerful, just like a river. But if they were confronting at that time, probably they will have realized that the fear is actually small, just like a drop of dew, like in this oracle card. And I also noticed with the inner child, some of you, I strongly feel intuitively that some of you might deal with a person who actually might have been in situations where there were children involved, and they couldn't tap into this feeling of being blessed by that, like a disconnection from those children, and that it's not because of the child, that it's because the children usually trigger in the adults everything that happened in their own childhood. So if they don't have a healthy connection with their inner child, then it's actually projected in the relationship that they have with the children from their lives. And I see that they actually regret now that they did not listen to their inner child. To first instance, let's put away the situation of dealing with other children, their children or other people children. But on the first place, they know that by listening their inner child, they could have lighted themselves up and getting out of their comfort zone and have fun. And they did not use their creativity, their imagination and spontaneity to be more healthy and to create a healthier relationship with the other people involved. And they probably regret it. It could be that it has been a long time since they did something spontaneous and they didn't follow their instincts to spend their time with someone who can make them feel perhaps uninhibited or relaxed and completely comfortable to be themselves. And for them, their inner child, instead of becoming their ally, became their biggest foe here. They avoided to deal with childhood pain like rejection, loneliness, or it could be a wound like the fear of abandonment. And they do know now that this will have helped them to become more confident, more daring, more original, even bold. And they took the other side of it and became probably anxious, afraid, and sad. And they may have behaved like a child because the inner child needs and wishes were suppressed to behave in a healthy, creative way. So this inner child came at surface very rebellious, revolting, and they regret that they choose that coping mechanism and that they didn't deal with those childhood wounds at the right time. And they regret they did not heal their childhood pain. Therefore, they lacked the independence, the compassion that would have come along with their creativity, the talents and the joy that comes with it. And I see also here this person that you have in your mind. They regret they did not offer their help to build something. I'm seeing this girl here and the parrots working as a team and building something here, the foundation, a strong foundation for something. And I see that they kind of work like a team here to sharing the same goal, to have success and collaborate for a project, it could be, or a relationship. And each one of them has something useful to contribute. And they regret the lack of respect and the devaluation of other opinions and knowledge, actually. And now they do know that actually working together on the same goal would probably have been a success. And they regret they did not cooperate and combine their skills in a harmonious way. And we see also here this woman, she's flying on this feather in the stormy weather here. And I can see here they regret they did not thought fast enough and they weren't able to fight for equal rights. And for some of you, they might have used their words and intellect in an unfair situation. They might have been harsh with their words because they were very ambitious to win. They believed in their cause, very opinionated and assured that they are right and they have to do like that. And this actually dragged them into a trapping situation mentally because they regret they felt trapped in a situation. And they didn't actually, I'm kind of sensing here that they realized that they should have remained calm to look for a solution. They did not kept still and they let their fears control them. And therefore, trashing around made the situation worse actually. And it's like they let small annoyances to add to their worries that they had already. And they did not use their intelligence to find a way out. They regret also that they did not find their own balance, stayed grounded and centered. And they kind of realized they should have been a little bit more playful and perhaps use their humor more. They took themselves too seriously because probably they took too many tasks at once. And instead of slowing down and gaining control of the situation, they kind of continue this attitude and they couldn't achieve within calmness and confidence. And that somehow was reflected on the outside relationships also, because if you do not stay still and find that calmness and confidence within, then how do you expect the others to reflect? They just reflect what it's inside of you. It's like here it will apply the saying of how can you feed the others if your own table is empty? And I'm kind of seeing here that they also
regret that they kind of jungled with too many options, too many. For some of you, it could be a situation where they run after 2 rabbits in the same time. That it's because of their mental prison. It's like running for external things instead of going in mentally and release themselves actually from that trapping situation that they were mentally. And I also see here with the Ace of Cups that they regret actually because it's with under the 3 of Pentacles that they did not actually channel that energy in an equal way with the other people and open their heart here. When you open your heart, you actually have access to this. I'm seeing water flowing here and water flowing here, which tells me that it was an access to abundance, and they regret not doing that. They did not felt blessed, actually, joyful, and it's like they couldn't access this abundance. And that it's because they avoided self-love, peace, and opportunities to heal. This is the result of when you avoid for many, many, many years to heal a certain wound. And it's not like it's their fault, but somehow those come at surfaces. And they wish they will have more, they wish they would have been a little bit more wisey, just like this woman from the picture. They do know now that they had so many gifts from the universe, and now they regret they did not keep themselves open to possibilities or to grace. So when those appear, they kind of let it slip away because it's hard to recognize when you are blessed and when not. And actually, we are all the time blessed. We just have to tune into that energy and shift our perspective to be able to see that and to feel that. And I'm seeing also here the 6 of Swords under the Knight of Swords, a lot of mental struggles here. And it's kind of another representation of the Knight of Swords. It's the one who debate and ride the horse and go, just go. And I'm kind of seeing them that they ran away here also in the night. But this 6 of Swords, it's more like a very complex situation. And why I'm saying that, for some of you, the person you are thinking could regret they offered their help in wrong directions. And it could be that they ran away from a situation. They did not want to face their troubles or responsibilities. It could be also that they regret they received help from other parts. But it could be a regret that they, the help that they received at that time, it was kept secret somehow, because I'm seeing it sneaking away in the night here. And in essence, it wasn't a bad intention to receive help or to give help, but it was unproductive because they might have formed unhealthy connections, sneaking away, unhealthy relationships, or took a job that beat them down. It could be something dangerous or unproductive circumstances, and they might have ended up carrying burdens that didn't actually belong to them. They also regret they did not ask for help to escape their own bad situation. It's also that they acknowledge somehow that by not opening their hearts and healing their childhood wound, they know that they bring some people in a situation where probably the others asked their help and they did not offer it. And if they will have opened their heart and offered their help, probably those people wouldn't have been in such a bad situation. So that's tough that they acknowledge that right now. So look what the moon is doing, like bringing at surface things that were suppressed. But acknowledging that there is definitely here a big regret of not access the abundance with the sun card. There were times when they thought nothing is possible, or a certain situation it's impossible, and they kind of regret they kind of projected that in their relationship with the others. For some of you, it could be a situation where they something on their work or a project, for example, did not work in a productive way, or that their relationship didn't flourish. And if they had some success in a certain way, they regret they did not share this abundance with the others. They did not felt deeply grateful for what the universe offers them. And I also see here with the Eight of Cups, which is under the Two of Pentacles. I'm kind of seeing in jungling with two options here, stretching their resources and choosing to leave. But for some of you, it could be a situation where they regret they did not left a certain situation or traveled, and they may have wanted to seek a path where they felt they might get greater authenticity or a deeper meaning of life beyond superficiality. And they kind of choose, because I'm seeing in with the Sun card, I see this woman looking towards this Six of Swords. She's not looking towards the Eight of Water. And that tells me that they chose places where they were, at the surface, it looked more glittery, but not everything that shined is gold, and they learned that lesson. And therefore, they lacked joy, they lacked abundance and understanding, and they kind of regret they didn't follow their heart and remained in disillusions, being afraid and ashamed. And the illusion that they remained with, the path that they choose, is that, oh, that is so shiny and beautiful, but because it is the sun here, and I'm seeing here those jewelry here, but in the end, it wasn't real gold. And I'm kind of seeing it that they regret they didn't follow their heart and remained in disillusion. And it seems they choose to remain in a toxic situation for too long, or perhaps adopt a toxic habit and not being able to break free from it. And I'm kind of seeing in here that they acknowledged that they stretched their resources and probably didn't share so much with the others. They probably jungled with too many options in the same time, and they choose an option that was kind of glittery, but in the end, it wasn't really very satisfying. And I kind of sense it here that they probably adopted a toxic habit and they were not able to break free from it, and they hold it longer to what wasn't actually right for them. And now they kind of see the consequences of this behavior. And their biggest regret for your person, for pile number 2, it's the shadow aspect of the Blessed card, which is desecrated. And their biggest regret here is that they weren't actually fair, decent, and honorable with some certain people. If those people did some mistakes, especially, they couldn't look beyond disappointments. So they did not forgive them for being human. And this is because they had some certain standards they lived by, and they had long, firm beliefs that served them well along the time. But life, it's not black and white. There are gray areas, colored areas, and some people fail to reach their values. So when the other people fail to reach their own values that they set it up so high, also then they felt left down, and they may even have felt insulted or violated. And for them it was easy to cut them off. But they do realize now what do they do with friends and family. Okay, I cut off those strangers, but what do I do with the closest ones? And they know it's not just those people who might have had good intentions and still mess it up. they messed up also, and they regret now. They regret they did not look into it with their hearts, looked at the intention of the others, and then probably will have been more fair to take a decision and not just cut them out. And for some of you, it could be also, I'm sensing very strong here, a regret that they left actually a situation, that they did not deal with their wounds and suppress them and choose a path which seemed very shiny, but in the end, it bring them back to the same wounds, because in the end, they have to deal with it. So that was my reading for pile number 2. I hope you got the answers that you were looking for, and we get a glimpse of what could be, what are the regrets of the person that you are thinking of. And I hope you leave some comments, because I'm curious. I all the time read them. And I want to get to know a little bit more better my followers, the viewers. So see you at the next reading. Bye. Hey, pile number 3. You choose the white quartz crystal, and it looks like this. So let's see the cards, and let's see what are the regrets of the person that you are thinking of. The one, it could be anyone that you are thinking of, and you choose the pile number 3. So let's see, what are the regrets? We have variable, we also have no rain today, we do have sadness. I'm getting here strong vibes of not being able to go out in the nature enough, staying in the sun. They kind of feel sad about that also. It's like everything was changing all the time. We have the 7 of Swords energy. And I feel here like a thief energy also. Someone might have steal something from them, or they stole something. And it could be metaphorical also. But I'm sensing here air energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. We also have the Page of Swords. We do have the 9 of Sky, which is the 9 of Swords, a lot of swords energy. And I'm seeing here a fight, a ferocious fight, where they actually, another representation of the 9 of Swords is the person who is sitting on the bed, waking up in the night, and they actually cannot sleep from so much mental pressure. And I'm kind of seeing that they regret dealing with something like that, or maybe perhaps putting other people in those situations where it created a very strong, anxious situation with depression, anxiety. It could be also insomnia situation. A lot of stress involved. We have also 4 of Fire energy. So we have also fire signs here. Some of you might be, or the person that you are thinking of, it could be Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. We have the Magician energy. Yeah, I see it now more. They kept something for themselves, and they used their power in a wrong way for their own benefit here. And that goes from an emotional immaturity or mental immaturity also.
We have the King of Pentacles. So we do have here also earth signs, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. We have the Five of Water. I see also here water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. A lot of green. So some of you might be dealing with a person who it's regretful when it comes about the situation concerning health, connection with the nature, financial issues also. And we have the Messenger of Fire under the Four of Fire. Interesting. All right. Let's see. With the white quartz crystal, because I don't believe in coincidences. I think everything is at the right place in the right time, which can give us exactly the information that we needed in that moment. And with the white quartz here, they regret they did not use their wisdom to amplify an intention and focus on the intention. Mostly the intention of the others also, or their own intention. And one of their regrets with the variable here is that they did not trust the people who could rely on, or they were relying on them because the shadow aspect is reliable, and they lacked faith, and they weren't enough open to share their life with, and they preferred to do their things by their own. They lacked courage at that time and didn't trust others to complete a certain task, so they preferred to do that and by themselves, and they found it easier at that time because it's a copy mechanism learned that nobody is doing better than me, and if I don't do it, nobody will do it, and it's a learning process. And in the end, this attitude made them remain alone because others didn't ask them anymore if they need help. And they regret by having this copy mechanism. They arrive in a situation where there was no soul to help them when they actually needed them the most. And it could be that they also regret they did not help somebody else who was actually in need. And they thought they could manage alone all just like they do. Like, if I can do it, they can do it also. But actually, probably that person really needed help in that moment. And they did that because they projected their copy mechanism on the others. They expected at the others what they were expecting from themselves. And probably that the other person really arrived in a very bad situation, arrived in a situation where nobody else could have helped them but them, and they needed the most then. And now they regret that because they realized that the way how they were thinking on a long term, it wasn't beneficial for them, for their own health, and probably they kind of disappointed themselves in the long run here. I also see that they regret they lacked the energy to feel comfortable, to shine, and didn't choose to view life in a positive light. We see in this card here the sun banishing the crying cloud, and the sun gives warmth and comfort, and the rays give strength to chase away the grief and the loss. And it feels they didn't feel strong enough to move past over a loss or a grieving situation. And when they had dark days, they didn't turn towards the sun, so their shadow didn't fall behind them. It standed right in front of them, and probably they acted through their own shadow. And they regret they did not
had more fun, and they let themselves be surrounded by positive, happy people. They regret that they did not done that, and their environment wasn't so shiny and enough positive to actually help them shine and be more positive and help them to move on in a healthy way from that loss that they went through or that grieving situation. I also see here with the sadness card that they regret that they created sadness in the others. And they regret the sadness that they carried within also and around them. They did not allow themselves to for some of you, it doesn't have to resonate with all of you because I'm getting a dual energy here. I'm sensing that they did not allow themselves to cry and heal in a healthy way. So they kind of suppressed and jumped over the healing process, and they feel they've lost an opportunity. Probably they broke a heart or lost a friend, but they did not allow themselves at that time to cleanse their soul and allow their heart to heal in a proper manner. And it could be also why I'm finding dual, because it could be that because of that, they at that time they did not allow themselves to feel their emotions and let them move through their own being to cleanse them and purify their heart, their soul, and their body. And instead of that, they kind of translated that as getting lost in their own emotions, which is totally different. But they also regret by pressing others to be in that way. And I'm kind of sense it here because it's the second time when first time I meet this coping mechanism with I'm doing everything by myself. I don't need the help of the others. I'm expecting the others to do the same and to not act that they do really need my help because they should get along by themselves fine, right? And I meet again the same attitude when it comes about the emotions. I'm feeling weak to cry or to feel fully my emotions so I can go through the healing process in a healthy way because that it's weak. And then I project that on the other people that they should act the same as me. So it's kind of I'm yeah, I'm sensing here a strong belief where they actually, when they were children, they weren't actually allowed to feel and show their emotions. And they should just fix everything by themselves because they need to be a grown up. And they kind of regret this transgenerational trauma that they carry within. Oh boy. See more. I also see here, I'm sensing here with the Seven of Swords that this woman from this picture, it's a thief. She kind of hides her dishonorable heart behind beauty and shallowness. And they regret acting like a snake in certain situations where they might have been dishonest or manipulative or perhaps holding secrets and getting away with something. And they kind of had everything that they needed to reach their goals with the magician energy, but they used their power in this way. Interesting. And I'm kind of sense it here. I know it sounds strange, but for pile number 3, I'm kind of sense it here that they adopted this behavior because they learned it. They saw it as someone acting that way when they were small. And that actually created sadness. And now they continue to do that so for the others. And now they regret it. But they acknowledge also the pattern, which I don't feel that it starts from them. It starts from previous generations. I also see here the Page of Swords. And there is a lot of mental debating within themselves with the swords. They regret somehow they use their curiosity, but in a toxic way. It could have been stalking or sticking their nose too much in some information that weren't for them, and perhaps their curiosity pushed them to disrespect others' people's boundaries. And there is a part of them they regret that they did not channel this energy into studying something new. And they did not expand their ideas and let themselves feel inspired as well. And by lacking honorable goals, they didn't grow at that time so much. Like the Page of Swords carries this energy of I'm curious, I want to learn, I want to see, I want to talk, and it's in a way good. But when you use it wrong, you could be curious about things that are not your business, or you are stalking, or you are too much talking, or like, and you can actually channel that energy into reading a little bit more, talking a little bit more, but about things that could help you to heal, to create, to probably studying something, because I'm getting here that they actually regretted that they had that energy, but they didn't use it in that area, like studying something new, starting something new, learning something new, and it could have been more useful. I'm also see it here that your person, the one that you are thinking of, they might have suffered nightmares, or they might have created to other people nightmares, and they let themselves be taken away by their own fears. They regret they did not choose a different perspective on dealing with this situation, and they suppressed so much that it came when we sleep. Everything that it's in subconsciousness comes at surface, and they dealt with nights of terror, nightmares, worries. It could be about a relationship, about a job, about that they didn't know the outcome of a situation. Also, I'm sensing here also that they projected too much into reality their dreams and their nightmares and their illusions. So they didn't know anymore what it's real, what it's not real. And I'm seeing also here that they regret they did not form their own rituals to connect with themselves more, with their own spirit and divinity. And they feel it, they will have, by doing so, it could have allowed them somehow to create beauty and magic and connection that will have been more sacred. And perhaps they longed on a subconscious level to follow a spiritual practice or some certain rituals, but they did not follow the inner guidance. For some of you, it could be a situation where actually they were so busy by studying something, by finding some information, they were so worried about it that created this mental pressure on them. And they regret that they didn't balance themselves and allow themselves to actually give themselves time to take care of the mundane, basic stuffs of the daily life. Like, I'm having this ritual, I study this certain time, and now I'm going to eat, and now I'm going to sleep, and now I'm going to shower, and now I'm meeting my friends. So they kind of didn't have this balanced life, and now they regret it. Because certainly it was affecting very much their health, the connection that they could have felt with the nature. And I felt it from the beginning that they actually regret that they didn't went more out. They didn't take care so good on their own health also. I also see here that some of you might have been in a situation with this person who treated others like they can have their cake and eat it too, probably take it for granted, and they regret that they did not work harder and do good for the others to create a strong foundation financially, maybe better health and connecting more with the nature. And for some of you, it could be a situation where they may implemented on the others that you can't have all. And it could be that they did not allow themselves or others to ground themselves enough and enjoy also long-term foundation. So I'm see again a projecting, like the way how I do, you should do also. That's a little bit inflexible, and they regret that they were more flexible when it comes about that. And I also see here with this 5 of water that they regret they did not release grief at the right moment and allow its sadness to rise and fall, forgive themselves and others and the natural cycles of humankind, like the ebb and the flow of emotions. And it could be that they didn't allow themselves or they weren't allowed. They did not allow themselves and others to feel the fullness of the emotions, and they did not fully forgive themselves and others to let go of any emotions that were holding back from acknowledging the truth. And this will have brought freedom to let go. It could be that when emotions colored their perceptions, they hurted others. And I'm kind of seeing here strongly hurted others. Stress, and they hurted themselves in the process also. I see also that they hold it for long resettlements, so they regret that knowing now this, they could have liberated themselves earlier and others also. And with the messenger of fire, which is the page of wands, they regret they did not use the creative side in an independent way. It could have been an adventure they felt going to, or they did not trust their vision, so they did not remain true to what they mostly valued and desired. Probably they felt an impulse, something like, I feel in my heart that I have to do that and I want to do that, and then they stopped themselves, or they were stopped. And that created so much depression and anxiety, actually. Even if they did that to themselves or somebody else did that to them, it pushed them in a very toxic situation. And I'm seeing here that for some of you, it could be a regret about following an adventure path or a certain relationship or a certain job where they realized that they were not valued. And the biggest regret for the person that you are thinking of, pile number 3, the shadow aspect shows they did not stay consistent in a world with constant change. They regret they were not flexible, so they felt left behind, and this made them feel lonely. And feeling lonely, it's way more painful and harsh than feeling alone. Like, it's one thing to feel alone and it's one thing to feel lonely. And they do now understand that in life, an opponent can appear tall and strong, but lose a debate because they don't have good cards. And sometimes the one who appears small and weak can have a good hand. And sometimes not the strongest or the most intelligent win, but the one who is the most adaptable to change. And they acknowledge now that they lacked at that time this adaptability, even if they were in a stronger position or they were in an advantage. So probably there is a lesson that follows also here, and probably they are learning that now. They acknowledge this also, and I'm kind of seeing as a positive note that they actually discovered all of those things within, and they try to change that, because we see the variable aspect, light aspect, and I'm pretty sure that now they are like connecting, taking care of their health more, they connect with the nature more, and they really take care of their foundations. So that was my reading for the person for pile number 3. I hope you gather all the information that you needed, and we took a glimpse of what is going on with within themselves,
and what are their regrets. So if you like this reading, please press like and leave a comment in the comment section under the description, because I all the time read the comments. And if you feel that you resonated with more piles, or you are having more persons in your mind, you are free to choose other pile from this reading. So I hope you enjoy it, and see you at the next reading. Bye.